So after I retired, I had always wanted to teach journalism overseas, and so I started looking around to see what I could do. And what I've ended up doing is a real amalgamation of many different things. I was in Rwanda in August, all of August, working for an NGO there called Global Communities, used to be called CHF. They have a program, USAID program called EJOHEZA, which is designed to improve the livelihoods and the health of very poor farmers in the rural areas. And it uses volunteers. They train these volunteers. They don't pay them, but they do encourage them in various ways. And these volunteers in these small villages are teachers, and they teach nutrition. So for example, right now I'm editing one woman. She's a farmer, basically. But she's a young, relatively young woman, probably in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. She's got, I don't remember how many children, a husband, she's, a cow right there, the pig right there. She is their EJOHEZA BCV volunteer, Be the Change volunteer. And their goal is to make changes. So she was teaching, for example, nutrition, how to set up a kitchen garden, the right way to breastfeed. You would think that people know all this, but in fact, they found that health practices in many of these rural areas are very poor. Traditionally, what I'm literally editing right now, traditionally, when a woman gave birth, before she breastfed, they would give the baby water. I don't know why, but that was the way it was always done. And that would interfere with all kinds of things. The colostrum wasn't there. They'd have later problems with breastfeeding, with nursing. So anyway, they're trying to change habits. And my job is to create a documentary about these Be the Change volunteers. The other thing I'm doing right now is I'm working for UNDP China, United Nations Development Program. They have come out with a major report about urbanization in China, which, as you probably know, is historic. It's never happened before, the level of urbanization and mass migration within such a short period of time. Never happened before. And it's, of course, causing many problems. So they've come up with this publication, and right now it's online in PDF form. They want to publicize it more. So they've asked me to create an audiobook version and to create an ebook version, which we will then provide, sell at a nominal cost online on Amazon, iTunes, iBook, and also on Audible, which is an audiobook provider. I was in Nepal doing, the other thing that I do is media capacity development. And that just means looking at NGOs, typically, and how are they using media? What can they do? What have they done? What will they do? In the case of, in Kigali, they do a radio program, but the radio program is very dry, very boring. And I actually started in radio. So we worked on how to improve the program so that it wasn't just spewing facts or just doing interviews. For example, dramatizations. If you're going to try to educate people in rural areas, many of whom may not be literate or not very literate, and may not want to listen. Radio, of course, is very powerful, but they may not want to listen to just boring interviews. But what if you do a drama about how to save money? What if you do a drama about creating cooperatives? Or what if you do just interviews and dialogue with people who are actually doing some of these things, but produce them as good, interesting documentaries, radio documentaries. So basically, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, which means I'm a master of none. I really enjoyed preparing the radio curriculum because it forced me, among other things, to do some research about Afghanistan and about Afghan media and the importance of radio within Afghanistan. And it really gave me a wonderful sense of the country. And that was probably the thing I liked best about preparing that curriculum, was just feeling that I was connecting to a place that, I don't know, I haven't been there. I'd love to see it. But somehow connecting to it, even in this tangential way, was really exciting for me. And I did get to meet some of our Afghan visitors during the last term, and it was just fascinating. I could talk to them all day, just learning about other cultures, other circumstances, tragedies, in some cases, celebrations. Yeah. That's what I really love to do, is just learn.